Hello and welcome to the spring fundraiser for Mayor Katjana Ballantyne. We're celebrating her first 100 days. My name's Richard Wood, a parent and Summerville resident, and I'm introducing Lauren Baton, who's also a local resident and parent. He's well known in Summerville for his advocacy on behalf of youth and families. So thank you, Lauren, for your service to Summerville, and thank you for volunteering tonight. And here's to you.
Thanks, Richard. Thank you for conducting the meeting tonight. My name is Liron Bitone, and I'd like to, first of all, thank Richard for being such a positive force in Summerville as a longtime resident and business owner and a very active volunteer in politics. So we're here tonight to mark Katjana Ballantyne's first 100 days as mayor of Summerville. We'll hear tonight from several speakers and from Mayor Ballantyne herself about her goals and the progress she's made during the startup phase of her administration. We'll also have a chance to reconnect and re-energize for the next 630 days and more of working with Katjana for an inclusive and equitable Summerville where we can all thrive together. So let's just take a moment to remember that this has just been 100 days. We've got a lot longer to go. We're all in this together, and Katjana's our partner in this, and we really need to be with her if she's going to be able to stand up for us. So that's why we're here tonight, to continue the campaign that we started and that we can continue together with Katjana in office. So it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker tonight, who is a former mayor of Summerville and former United States Representative, Congressman Mike Capuano. Congressman Mike Capuano was a member of the U.S. House representing the Massachusetts 7th Congressional District. He served as U.S. Representative for Massachusetts from 1999 to 2019, 20 years of service. Thank you for your long service to our city and our country, and thank you for being with us tonight, Congressman Mike Capuano.
Hi, Mike Capuano, former mayor, former congressman, former city councilor, lifelong resident of Somerville. And 100 days, in my opinion, as a new mayor is not a lot of time to accomplish much, but it's plenty of time to set the agenda. It's an absolute essential. And I think Katjana's done a great job doing that. She set the agenda on the environmental issues, on the affordability issues. She certainly tackled COVID as well as any mayor could. And she started off, in my opinion, on the right foot, trying to address issues that have been around for a while, but have to refocus on. And my hope is that she has the opportunity to fulfill some of these things. I know she's made some accomplishments already, but again, 100 days in the wintertime, I will tell you from pure experience, the most important thing is to first clear out the snow and get the trash collected and do all the mundane things that we all expect. But setting the agenda for the longer term is critically important as well. Otherwise, you accomplish nothing. I think she has done a great job setting the table, and I think she's done a great job taking the first couple of steps forward on a dozen different issues, and I do nothing but wish her the best of luck, which is exactly why I'm here tonight.
Thanks for your service to our community and for your remarks tonight. Our next speaker is Binosh Pradhan. Binosh is a longtime Summerville resident and Summerville restaurateur. I'll say that his restaurant, Masala, is my favorite in Summerville and probably in the country. Binosh is especially active in Summerville's Nepalese American community. He lives with his wife and his family in West Summerville, and he's a new father. Congratulations, Binosh, and thanks for your words tonight.
Hi, my name is Binoz, and I live in Summerville on Curry Street. The reason I support Katjana is because of an experience that I just had recently. There's a restaurant right next to my house, and they put an outdoor seating, and I wasn't happy, to be honest. I wasn't happy. There was an outdoor seating. That was the only space we had in that part of my house, and I called her. She was a city councilor at the time, and I was a big supporter of her, and I thought she was gonna, get rid of the outdoor seating. And then she came to the site, she spoke with me, and she said, Binos, the restaurant is struggling, especially on this particular site. There's so many restaurants has failed. And this particular restaurant is trying their hard to survive. And it's true, actually, many restaurants didn't make it in that space. And I'm a restaurant owner as well, and I understood what she meant, how important that outdoor seating was for the restaurant. But at the same time, I was wondering, why is she not, helping me? But then I understood that that restaurant had to survive, and it was not for permanent outdoor seating. And it made me think about her. And I said, you know what? She's the best thing that happened to the city. And I tell you why, because when I first moved to Summerville, 22 years ago, when I asked help from other city councils and other people, I did not get any help. So just thinking about what happened 22 years ago and what she said to me at that particular point made me very happy. That incident, that meeting taught me that she would fight for everyone, not just for her friends, not just for her supporters, but for everybody that's trying to survive in the city. And this is why I really genuinely support her. Thank you. सबैजनालाई मेरो नमस्कार. म विनोद प्रधान, समरभिलको रेजिडेन्ट. म कातियानालाई किन सपोर्ट गर्छु भन्दाखेरि यो एज अ इमिग्रेन्ट हामी समरभिलमा आउँदाखेरि नौलो लाग्छ. सपोर्टको लागि 22 वर्ष अगाडि मैले कसैलाई सपोर्ट माग्दाखेरि चाहिँ जसले पनि फोन नउठाइदिने या आउँछु भनेर नआइदिने. तर कातियानालाई जब अलडरमेन भयो, सिटी काउन्सिल भयो समरभिलमा, एउटा फोन कल गर्दैमा उहाँ आइदिनु भयो, आएर मेरो कुरा सुनिदिनु भयो, मलाई हेल्प गरिदिनु भयो. त्यो कारणले मलाई एउटा के लाग्छ भने हामी नेपाली कम्युनिटीमा कहिले समरभिलमा बिजनेस गर्नु पर्यो भने हामीलाई सुनिदिने कोही छ भन्ने कुरा मलाई एकदमै विश्वास छ. यो समरभिल 22 वर्षको समरभिल भन्दा डिफ्रेन्ट छ अहिले यो नयाँ मेयरको कारणले. त्यसैले म के भन्छु भने सबै नेपाली दाजुभाइ सबैजनाहरूलाई चाहिँ अर्को इलेक्सन आएको खण्डमा चाहिँ कातियानालाई डेफिनेटली सपोर्ट गर्नु होला. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Midosh. Part of what I love about Summerville is the diversity in our community. And thank you for speaking in both English and Nepali. Our next speaker will be speaking in both English and Haitian Creole. That speaker is Maggie Joseph. Maggie is board member of the Clarendon Hill Residents United. She's active in her community and in all of Summerville in support of affordability and housing. So thank you for speaking up, Maggie, and using your voice. And again, Maggie will speak first in English and then in Haitian Creole.
Good evening. My name is Maggie Joseph. I'm living on Road 7 almost 2 decades. I am an immigrant. I'm come from Haiti. I am so excited. Madam Mayor also, she is an immigrant. Today, I am happy to speak for 100 days, Madam Mayor in office. I remember the first time I spoke to Madam Mayor. It was when Clarendon, the redevelopment, have a project to rebuild the building. So Madam Mayor gave us her number in case if we need assistance. I remember like when the first time COVID-19 started, I have my parents need bed bound. So I give Madam Mayor, I send Madam Mayor an email and I ask her for advice. What can I do for my parents? So because I don't want something happen to them. Madam Mayor reached out to me and helped me. Very helpful. Madam Mayor, it's a wonderful person. She helped us a lot. She listening, she worked very hard. She not only helps her colleagues, she also helps people on the Summerville residents if we need help. She have a vision for Summerville, small business, research for housing. She also help teenagers, so immigrants, if we need help. She always go out to get input for everybody who live in Summerville to have an idea. She go to like elderly people, a teenager, small family. She help the low-income family, and I love that about Madam Mayor. So you know we have a food pantry in Summerville, but since Madam Mayor come in, she just have a new format for the food pantry. When you go there before, they give you a box. So now when you go to the food pantry, it looks like you go to Market Basket, Star Market, you shop in whatever you want. That is the best thing. We love it. Like Haitian, Latino, we all love it. We love Madam Mayor. We love it a lot. She have a dream for this city. She loved that city so much. Before I conclude tonight, I remember Martin Luther King said something, I have a dream. I believe also Madam Mayor has a dream for the city of Summerville. We love you, Madam Mayor. Keep it up. Don't give up. Keep helping people in Summerville. Thank you for having me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the opportunity, and God bless you all. Bonjour tout le monde. Non pas c'est Maggie Joseph. Moi habite dans Summerville. Aujourd'hui, moi sens très fier pour me capable venir là pour me parler nom de Madame Maire Katjana. Moi c'est un immigrant, moi sorti Haïti. Moi très content en pile Madame Maire Katjana c'est un immigrant. Moi songe première fois moi te rencontré Madame Maire, elle était venue dans Clarenton là, nous te gen un rendez-vous nous t'a fait dans meeting pour caillou craser pour yo rebâtir caillou. Avant Madame Maire te déplacé, li ban nous téléphoner avec email li dit si nous besoin n'importe bagay relé. Moi songe le Covid là 19 nan te paraît, moi gen maman moi parent moi qui malade en pile, moi pas connais ça pour moi faire. Moi pas vle pour un bagay rive yo. Moi pas vle al sur yo en dedans pour me pas porter maladie pour yo. Moi voyer un email ba Madame Maire. Moi demander l'advice, qui ça pour moi faire? Li dit me la vinn sou moi. Li voyer mon aider moi, li aider parents yo en pile. Madame Maire c'est un bon monde qui a aidé. C'est pas seulement monde qui n'a travail avec lui dans cité à li aider tout monde qui dans Summerville là. Depuis au besoin, tout ça au besoin. Ou fait 301, ou relé Madame Maire, l'attendez ou. C'est un monde qui travaille en pile dans la communauté pour les aider. Li ouvert un small business pour les capable aider mon dans la food pantry ou même qui a derrière manger ou après jeune manger food pantry yo. Li aider moun qui pas travailler en pile yo, l'OM comme yo, qui n'a arrosé yo, li fait tout ça, li a travail et li besoin plus. Li toujours chercher dans la rue pour les connaître ça, nous plus nos besoins comme nos haïtiens, latinos, les besoins tout ça. Nous remercions Madame Maire, pas décourager. Continuez le travail que vous fait dans la communauté Summerville là. Moi avant moi aller, songez bien les nous venir nous t'appeler. Martin Luther King te dit, li gen un rêve. Et moi quoi, Madame Maire gen même rêve ça pour monde qui vivent dans la cité Summerville là. Moi bien content, yo te ban moi opportunité pour me venir là jeudi. Moi content pour vous même qui a côté moi et merci en pile. Bon Dieu béni nous. Maggie.
Thank you, Maggie, for those touching words, and it was beautiful to hear you speak. So thank you again, and again, hello. My name is Liron Bitone. I'm a parent and a leader in the school community here in Summerville. I've had kids in the Summerville Public Schools for 8 years now, and I am so enthusiastic about our wonderful public schools, our teachers, our amazing staff, our kids, and our entire amazingly diverse community. As a parent and an advocate for children and families here in Summerville, I've gotten to know many of my neighbors. And that's actually how I got to know Katjana first, as a parent. My daughter and her younger daughter wanted to play together when they were little. So, I saw Katjana as a parent. She was supportive and nurturing, but she also provided the independence her daughter needed to grow and thrive. And as a somewhat overprotective parent myself, I thought, I have a lot I can learn from Katjana. I also got to know Katjana on our occasional rides together on the Red Line, as we both traveled to our respective jobs downtown. And we would just sit together on the train and chat. But Katjana wanted to hear from me about my story, about my family, and about my concerns. And throughout the years of knowing her, this much has remained the same. Katjana has a genuine interest in really getting to know people and a curiosity about them. She wants to hear what motivates them and help them solve the problems to the extent she can. And one thing I've been involved with for years, alongside many other parents in the community, is advocating for roadway safety around the West Summerville neighborhood school where my kids attend school. Katjana helped catalyze our advocacy, coaching us parents who were not familiar with budget meetings and city council orders, cutting through the bureaucracy to help us make the change that we wanted to see. As a result of our efforts, the city listened, and we now have a street in front of the school that is safer for our families and for the kids that have to cross that street to get to school and get home every day. Another project I've been involved with for years is advocating for the rebuilding of the schoolyard at the West Summerville neighborhood school. The schoolyard right now is really nothing but an empty asphalt lot with, a small play structure and some basketball hoops. When the city heard our call for a new schoolyard, Katjana encouraged us to dream big, not to settle for what we thought we could get. Instead, she encouraged us to remember who we were advocating for, the kids. At the design meetings for the schoolyard, it was Katjana who stood up and asked, why couldn't we look at a larger area than the current schoolyard for our new schoolyard? It was a really good question. And so now the city's new schoolyard design, which is on the verge of being built this summer, includes a larger field for young kids to play on during school hours and even after school hours. So she isn't content only to color within the lines if it doesn't paint the picture that we need for our community, for our kids. She's willing to stand up for us, and that's why I am willing and why I'm enthusiastic to support Katjana as our mayor here in Summerville. It's Katjana's caring and nurturing side that allows her to see what problems we have, to hear what we have to say, and to actively listen. And it's Katjana's daring and visionary leadership that allows her to color outside the lines, to dream bigger, and to help us all dream bigger, to find solutions to work for Summerville's families, children, and all our community members. And ultimately, it's Katjana's deep knowledge and experience knowing the levers of our city government to know how to get the job done. So I am so pleased now to introduce my friend and our mayor, Katjana Ballantyne. Thank you, Katjana.
Thank you, Laron. Thank you. Thank you, Congressman Capuano, Maggie Joseph. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Our campaign is about building an inclusive, equitable Summerville, where we can all thrive together. Summerville is a progressive city. I want to transform our values into action. And I'm pleased to say I'm just getting started. The first 100 days of my administration served as a compass to guide our work ahead as we settled in and got organized. My 100-day plan came from listening to the community. looking for the gaps and finding and seizing on new opportunities. Being an inclusive leader means listening, and I've been listening. I'll keep on listening, and I'll engage all of you. My 100-day plan priorities came from conversations I had with constituents, advocates, community organizations, my fellow elected officials on the City Council and the school committee. My style of inclusive leadership is to bring people together. Inclusive leadership means better results. It can get messy, yes, it can take a little bit longer, but you get buy-in, you get shared purpose, and you get enthusiasm. We took a look at the data. We looked at the best practices. We did a rapid gap analysis with staff, which is a fancy way of saying we looked at the difference between where we are and where we want to be. Underlying all our work is a commitment to equity. Equity is not just a buzzword to me. It's the touchstone of my administration. This 100-day agenda starts us on that path. The plan focused on key areas: urgent COVID recovery and urgent COVID response and ongoing recovery, equity, inclusion, and social justice, affordability for all, environmental sustainability and climate change, access, transparency, accountability, quality of life issues, and supporting and strengthening our city workforce. And the plan has a heavy emphasis on affordability, which includes affordable housing, workforce development, jobs. Why? Because stable housing and good jobs are the foundation that every resident, family, and worker in our community needs in order to thrive and improve their quality of life. In January, my administration entered office during the peak of the Omicron surge. There was no time for a honeymoon period. Instead, we built capacity to get high-volume testing, deliver vaccinations, and outreach information. We delivered rental and food assistance, intensified multilingual, equity-driven outreach designed to meet people where they are. So over the last 100 days, we developed a 27-point action plan and delivered on 50 action steps, and some of them are. We connected and included large landlords with our Office of Housing Stability and advocates, resulting in no evictions and connecting tenants and landlords to financial resources. We connected developers and educators to our workforce development teams and labor representatives. We listened to a wide range of voices, especially those not always heard, which is why we asked residents who make use of social services to form our Summerville Family Task Force and help shape how to improve access to those services. Formally, we requested our city councilors to share their budget priorities to shape our FY23 budget. It's the first time a Summerville mayor has done so, and I have long valued participatory budgeting, going back to my very first year on the city council in 2014. We made strides to eliminate institutional and structural racism as we hit several key milestones to advance the city's workforce on public safety for all. By our Department of Racial and Social Justice hiring a consultant to do a staffing and operational analysis of the Summerville Police Department to ensure that we're including all voices in our community, hosted and led dozens of meetings, listening sessions with students, residents, community organizations, houses of worship, the Summerville Police Department, and elected officials. We established a family task force to develop more solutions to help families stay in Summerville and to help them connect to the city and nonprofit services. We eliminated accessibility barriers and increased inclusion for all residents. We invested in closing the wealth gap for women, and specifically women of color, by committing ARPA funds to direct child care supports. I testified at the State House advocating for the Summerville transfer fee and the tenant's first right to purchase. I initiated a rent-to-own homeownership, a municipal voucher program to fund long-term subsidies for our most vulnerable. For environmental sustainability, driving my vision for net zero carbon negative Summerville, we released our first ever privately owned space guidelines. It's known as POPs, for increasing open space acreage in Summerville, ensuring development projects create truly public spaces that serve residents. We expanded the Blue Bike system for 5 new public Blue Bike stations to better serve all Summerville residents. We started a climate justice summer youth jobs where young people will learn about invasive species, good plants that are pollinators, and learning about grass and overseeding and more. They will meet with the Office of Sustainability and Environment staff to learn more about what the city is doing for sustainability efforts. We've taken the lead to create the first ever in the nation an urban pollinator action plan to create the healthiest urban environment. We've fostered diverse participation on our city's boards and commissions. And quality of life. Yeah, we've focused a lot on quality of life concerns. Launching the first smart rodent pilot. It's a new technology that enables the city to make data-driven decisions for the greatest impact, tailoring the response to specific conditions. I've centralized the staff resources by moving the environmental health coordinator position from Health and Human Services to inspectional services. We've also added an additional full-time employee within inspectional services to increase the overall capacity of the city to respond to rodent control issues. We've invested in flood controls and launched 2 related community processes to evaluate solutions for flooding and combined sewer overflows for Gilman Square, Foss Park, Davis Square, to mention a few. Both efforts will serve to improve water quality, address legacy flooding, and prepare us for climate change. In Summerville, I want safer streets. I know you do too. So I initiated the construction of several projects which will install 2 miles of accessible sidewalks, 3 pedestrian refuge islands, and a half mile of new protected bike lanes across the city. I've also secured funding for pedestrian and bicycle safety enhancements on Mystic Ave and Martha Way. And to run our organization, which we all call government, we need to retain and support talented staff. We've begun by hiring an organization development consultant to study compensation and benefits. And while that might seem like an exhaustive list, there's more to do on each of these issues and more issues like we need to make sure that our youth have access to safe spaces, opportunities, and mental health services. We need to make sure our seniors who want to age in place can do so and can move around the city safely. We need to deliver the best urban education in the state and the nation. We want to ensure that Summerville is keeping true to its arts and cultural heritage and permanently keeping artists in Summerville. As our city changes and new development comes in, we want to ensure that developers and new businesses are connected to our residents, our youth, our small businesses, labor, and to help us deliver on our progressive values. And they said yes, they want to do this also. So that is why we're hosting a gathering, a summit of sorts, soon to be announced, with developers, businesses, residents, youth organizations, schools, artists, and labor. Our work is just beginning. Thank you for joining me this evening as we move into our next 630 days. I look forward to keeping you updated on our advances of inclusion and equity and making Summerville a place we can thrive in and that we're proud to call home. Thank you.
Wow, 100 days. Did you catch all that? Wow. Thank you, Katjana. So, if you listened to Katjana just now and you've seen all the good work she's done, not just in the last 100 days, but in the last 8 years, I think you know that we need to continue to have her in office as our mayor so she can keep doing all this amazing work for all of us. The best way to make sure that she continues to work on an inclusive and equitable Summerville where we can all thrive together is to raise money, right? Political campaigns are won with resources. And, we're always preparing for the next one. So Katjana has our back. We need to have hers. So that's why I'm asking you to contribute to her campaign now, like right now. There should be a link in this meeting where you can click to go to her campaign donation site and make a donation. There are many ways to give. The easiest way to donate tonight is to use the link provided with the Eventbrite link. You can find out about other ways to donate at katjana.org/donate. I've donated. I hope you will too. Before we leave you tonight, I just want to acknowledge this amazing space, and thanks to Sally O'Brien's and Liam Mannion for hosting tonight's event. So thank you. And thanks also to our superb AV team for making this event possible. Frank Coakley, Mark Steele, Jesse Cornelise, and Richard Wood. So thank you all. And now I will turn things over to Richard Wood, and thank you all, and have a good night.
Thanks all for coming, and there's a link in the chat. You can donate at katjana.org and enjoy the spring.